Hey, it's your girl Chab. Today I'm coming at you with a demo and review on the new Uoma beauty products. Yes! So today I have some key products here that I bought from Uoma Beauty. They're a brand new line that launched online and in Ulta stores. So I have today one of their palettes. I have a foundation, a concealer, and a lipstick. So I've already tested these products out and I'm going to be demonstrating how I apply them with you on camera today. You and me, just chat. If you want to know my thoughts, if you want to know the tea, if you want to know if it's right for you or for me, if you want to know if it's worth your money, hunty, then let's get started. All right, guys, we're just going to get right into the demo here. So I have with me right now the Uoma Beauty concealer here. This is the Woke concealer. All the information I'm not going to read or anything. I'm just going to put it on the screen right now. So right now I have the shade Fair Lady T3. I'm going to prime my eyelids. That's what I usually do whenever I put on eyeshadow. And then we're gonna go in with the Black Magic Allure palette here. This is giving me some subculture from Anastasia vibes here. I'm just gonna do a simple look. It's not gonna be crazy or wild. I already tested this out. Like I said, I'm just gonna put it on the face and it's not a tutorial. So unfortunately, sorry, you can't follow along with me, but just enjoy the music and me putting on my makeup. So let's go. All right, guys, so the eyes are pretty much almost complete. I just got to put on my foundation and concealer and everything like that first. Let me moisturize real quick. From Uoma Beauty, I'm gonna be applying the Say What Weightless Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation. And I prefer applying my foundation, are you surprised, with a sponge right here. This is the Flower Beauty sponge. It's getting it in. I've been using it a lot. I really like the texture of this sponge, but we're not talking about that today. I usually take one pump of this foundation. I just put it all over my face. Right now, I only have moisturizer on. I just wanted to do it specifically for this video right now and review. I didn't put on any primer. On days, sometimes I like to use a primer, and when I do, I like to use the Ole Hendrickson Truth Banana Bright Face Primer. Going back to this guy right here and stuff, it says it's a soft matte hydrating foundation. It's more of like a satin finish, but yeah, let's apply it onto the skin here. I have the shade Honey Honey T1N. There's a warmer version of this and I got the neutral because the warm version is just way too warm, but this one right here is neutral slash like olive tone and it matches more with like my double chin and my neck. All right, so this is the foundation on my skin now. Right now, it is looking like a soft matte. Later on, it kind of builds up to be a like matte satin finish and stuff because it gets a little bit more dewy. But that's just, you know, through like natural oils and things like that. But anyway, now I'm gonna go on to the concealer here. I have the Stay Woke concealer that I also use to prime my eyelids. I have it in the shade Fair Lady T3. And I didn't get the concealer that corresponded to this shade of foundation because I like it to be a little bit lighter, and I noticed with the concealer that corresponded to this foundation is pretty dark, and yeah, I just wanted to brighten it up a little bit, and I found this to be a really good match. So if you're around my skin tone, here you go. But yeah, I'm gonna apply this in places that I kind of need it, so pretty much just under the eyes really. I'm gonna do a little bit of forehead brightening as well as like the chin right here, but not too much highlighting because I like to keep it a little bit more light on the face. So light as in like lighter coverage. But anyway, let's go. All right, concealer is now on. I am just gonna set under the eye because the concealer is a little more on the matte finish side. So I'm gonna take my Beauty Bakery flower powder here in yellow. It does give a little bit of color, but other than that, it doesn't really like change up the under eye too much. But I find this powder to work best with pretty much anything that I use. So yeah, let's go. Alright guys, so I'm just gonna zoom through all of the rest of the stuff here just to show you how bronzer, highlight, and blush really melt onto the skin here and stuff. And then we're gonna get on to my final thoughts and how I feel about everything. Oh, I'm also gonna finish up the under eye too and show you how that's done. So anyway, yeah, let us go. Alright guys, so the face is now complete. I am going to be finishing off with the Bad Icon matte lipstick in the shade Eartha. I am gonna lip line with a little bit of MAC Nice and Spicy. Is my favorite. As you can see, it's a little tiny. And this one is just a nice, beautiful nude matte lipstick. If you look at the texture on the outside, it is totally matte. It looks like it's coated in powder, but it's actually nice and super creamy. But we're gonna be talking about that more later. So let's just apply it onto the lips. Alright guys, so this is the final look right here. Let's talk about the products, shall we? Let's talk about the eyeshadow palette right here. So we have the Uoma Beauty Allure Black Magic palette right here. So what I do like is they have 3 different kinds. This one's a pretty penny. Here are the colors here. This is giving me subculture vibes here. So if you already have the subculture palette, I'm telling you right now, you don't need this palette right here. It does come with less colors than the subculture palette. Quality wise, you might like this one a little bit better than the subculture, just because I don't know, I like the subculture palette, but I know it's hard for people to use and stuff. I don't know if the formula's changed, but I bought it when it first came out. But anyway, going back to this palette, this nice sleek packaging. I really like the little art out on here. It has some embossed stuff here and there. It's gorgeous. Got a big old mirror here, and then it also has a little definition. It says allure, which is a verb and is powerfully attract or charm. I think this is pretty good. Eyes of a goddess, yes please. You're looking at them and pretty much you could see your eyes in the mirror. So I was getting a little bit of confidence boost when I was doing my eyes, because I was just like, I am a goddess. But anyway, I really like the colors. They're very interesting, kind of like the subculture again. I'm gonna stop talking about it just after this, but it's very different at the same time, because like it gives you like the color scheme right here, but at the same time it's pretty different. So let's go on to the colors here. 5 mattes, which are all on the bottom row right here. They're nice and pigmented, very buttery, but very easy to work with. It's not one of those like pop in your face mattes. They're very like buildable, so even though you dip in, you can tap off and then just keep applying some more. Now this top row is very interesting. So it has one like shimmer eyeshadow right here, and this one is a duo chrome shift, so it looks white in the pan but it comes off as gold, and this is what I applied to my brow bone and as well as my inner quarter. It's called Lady of Gold, so perfect name for that. So going on to the rest of the colors here, these are definitely not shimmers. I would say they're more of like a glitter eyeshadow, because yeah, this is what I applied to the center of my lip. It's very like shimmery glittery, and they have like a really dry gritty texture to them, but they're really nice and they pop really well. On the center of the lid, I did use a glitter primer in order to go in with this so it didn't fall out all over my face and stuff. But the formula of this is pretty cool, pretty much unlike any eyeshadow that I've used before. They have some interesting colors, but like the payoff for each of them is very different. This first shade, Divine right here, it's really nice, really pigmented and super like bow in your face. But then when you go with the color Allure, which is the name of the palette here, so when I go into it, can y'all see that? It's not giving me the same kind of bow in your face. So there's kind of like some inconsistencies here and there. I'm sure if you wet your brush, you'll be able to get the kind of pop. As for me, I just used like a glitter primer, and that's how I made these eyeshadows work. But the colors are very interesting, unlike any eyeshadows that I do have in my collection already, so it's pretty cool. I would say if you don't own any of these colors right now, then yeah, maybe you should go get it, but it is a pretty penny. This one called Mystical is like pretty gritty and stuff. Again, there isn't really a whole lot of payoff here. It's just really like chunky and stuff. It's like mostly glitter and a little bit of pigment, so I don't really like that aspect of it. But matte's beautiful. Some of the glitter eyeshadows, okay. And then that one shimmer that they have in there is pretty darn good. So, all right. So next product we're going to be talking about is the Uoma Say What Weightless Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation. Soft matte hydrating. How are those things going to go together? How do they look on the skin? You can see right now, I didn't put on any setting spray. I only put on a little bit of powder under the eye. And then, you know, I did my thing, you know, with my highlight, because you know how I do. So I do love that there is a great shade range for this. I got the color range Honey Honey, so it has like this color top. So they have a yellow top for like the deeper, darker tones. They have a pink top for like the tan to medium, and then they have a blue top for the light to fair. So I think that's pretty cool because I like how they section them off so that way it's easy to pick out what your shade is. I do want to say that the warm tones are too warm, which I mentioned this before, but I think the warm tones are too warm. But I do like that the neutral tones are more towards olive, so that way, you know, a lot of people who are women of color, especially myself, we could find shades that are pretty easy. Like I think this matches pretty well. I know I put a little bit of bronzer, so it did warm up my complexion a little bit more, but for the most part I like that it's a good match, at least for me. Like how it looks on the skin, I think it works really well. So as far as longevity, this foundation definitely lasts for a really long time. I don't have to layer on too much. I feel like it looks natural on the skin, but I think it goes a little too matte for my liking. I like something to be a little bit more dewy, so I do tend to use some kind of moisturizer or primer underneath of this to make it more dewy. I did go in with a moisturizer that is pretty dewy, but it doesn't give me the same luminosity that I really like. That's why I like to use this little primer right here, and this has like kind of like a tint to it. I really love this stuff. I already talked about it, but whatever. I do prefer a little bit more luminosity in my skin. Also, what I like to do is use some setting spray. I like to use the Anastasia Dewy Settings Mist. Really like that stuff because it does make my skin look real dewy and nice. I would say that this coverage right here is more of like a medium to full. It's definitely buildable. Again, I use 2 pumps, mostly because I got a big face, so I gotta take care of the double chin, gotta take care of, you know, the forehead. I gotta take care of all this body. Okay, definitely if you have oily skin, you're gonna really like this. Normal oily skin, combination skin, you're really gonna like this product. If you have like super dry Sahara Desert bone dry skin, you ain't gonna like this unless you really like put in some effort to really like oil up and, you know, moisturize the skin. Otherwise, don't touch it, don't even look at it, throw it away. I don't know, I could be wrong, but for me, I'm more of like a combination, a little bit dry, a little bit oily and stuff. I personally think this is really nice and stuff. I would prefer it a little more sheared, but I did build it up just so you guys can see the coverage. I have a little ziddity doo dah, I got a little bit of redness. So yeah, just covering all that stuff up, make my skin look hashtag super smooth, super smooth. Let's go on to the concealer. I'm a concealer fanatic. I love concealers. That's probably the one thing besides highlighters that I have a ton of. Oh yeah, and eyeshadows too, but you could get carried away with eyeshadows. But anyway, going on to the concealer here, we have the Stay Woke concealer. I have to say that every time I hear it too. I have the shade Fair Lady T3, so you can see that the top right here is blue because it's for light to fair, and I got like the darkest one from the fair, like light complexion area. So this is the color here. It looks like a really tiny bottle and stuff, but it actually has a ton of product in here, and it's got a big huge applicator right here, like freaking Too Faced and Tarte. They shook right now because this is bigger than, oh, where's my eye? This joint's huge. I like that it's nice, it's compact. You can just be like, where'd it go? It's really nice, it's really tiny, it's really cute. Okay, as far as coverage, as far as texture, this one is definitely gonna dry down to a matte finish, but you have a little bit of play with it. So it's nice, it's super creamy, it's super thick, like thick with 3 C's. It's definitely full coverage here. But look at that, it's like real thick, and it really covers. It truly covers. I wouldn't say this is the most full coverage, but it's definitely full coverage concealer. It does set, like I said, to a matte finish. You can set it. You have a lot of playtime with it too, so even putting it all over the face and stuff, like I could wait a couple of minutes and still be able to blend it out and it'd be nice, but I wouldn't go past maybe like 5 minutes. Otherwise it's gonna stay and it's gonna set. Once it sets, it doesn't go anywhere. And I noticed even like under the eye with creasing, because always always my under eyes will crease, but with this stuff, takes a lot longer for this stuff to crease, which I think is pretty great. Like out of all the concealers that I've ever tried in the history of the world, this one won't crease until like, if you go on for like 12 plus hours, it will crease. But you know, in between that, looks real nice. Anyway, going on to the final product that I bought here, which is the Bad Icon lipstick. I have the shade Eartha, so you know, your girl definitely want a nude. This product actually reminds me of the Powder Kiss matte lipsticks from MAC, where like the very outside of this is super matte. So they have their imprint Uoma, which I think is really nice. Packaging wise, I gotta tell you right now, I think it's super nice, super sleek. And with this enclosure right here, it's a magnet, so pretty much you just stick it on and it don't go nowhere. So I think that's really nice, very high quality here. It says a bad does not talk about being a bad. Well, excuse me. First of all, that's a lot of bad words, not on my channel. This color in particular is super beautiful. I have it on my lips today. It is a little bit too light, so I did go in with a little bit of my lip liner here just to kind of tone it down. I really like the look. It gives a lot of like bad to my face. Definitely like really like cheeky deeky, really matte, really, you know, it's real cute. It's super matte to the point where like if you do have like dry lips, it will look crusty, and definitely my lips did look crusty, but it does feel very hydrating. Feels really nice. Here, let me swatch the color on my hair real quick, but it's like, ugh. Come on. This texture is unlike any lipstick that I've ever used before as well. It leaves almost kind of like a powder look to the skin. Like once you kind of like do a little bit of that, there's like a layer of powder over your lips, like you blotted your lips, or you put some translucent powder over like a really creamy lipstick. Like look at that. That is straight up matte, and this is a beautiful shade. Like I'm bringing you Cholita vibes with this like dark on the outside and then light on the inside. I think it's really beautiful, especially with a bold eye. Girl, as far as wear time goes, it's a regular lipstick. It's not going to, you know, last a very long time. If you eat something, if you drink something, it will go away. So that's the only downfall of this. It's a beautiful lipstick, but that's just how it is. Anyway, let's get on to my final thought, the final conclusion. Yeah, let's get the drum roll started. It is Chab. I really like this product. I like this brand a lot. I can't wait for more stuff to come out. What I think you should definitely grab from the brand, and what I think you should kind of pass on. Overall, I do like all of the products. However, the things that I would pass on are, first of all, the eyeshadow palette here. I think it's a really interesting formula, but if you have eyeshadows already, I don't think you should add more to it. Like these are pretty, they're nice, and then they have other ones too that are a little more enticing too, as far as like warm tones, cool tones, things like that. But like this right here is just kind of like, I mean, yeah, I could do a look and stuff and it looks really pretty, but do I already have this in my collection? Probably. Going on to the next product that I think you should pass on would be the Bad Icon lipstick. I really like it. However, it's $24. I would go with like a Revlon lipstick, honestly. Like I own a lot of those. I own a lot of other brands here that I would probably go and pick before I go on to this one here. I think it's just a little bit pricey for a lipstick. I mean, I do love the packaging. I love all of that. Like I would definitely pay just for that, but it's a lipstick that doesn't last very long. What I noticed in my collection is that lipsticks I tend to buy mostly for color and not so much for like the brand and stuff. I do have a little bit more expensive lipsticks like Pat McGrath and Yves Saint Laurent. So I like to splurge on a couple of things, as you know, but for lipsticks, especially the ones that come in the tubes, if they don't last a long time, I mean, it depends on preference, but for me, I'm more of like a liquid lipstick kind of gal, so I will splurge a little bit more on like the higher brands just for that comfort. But lipstick is lipstick at the end of the day. What you should be spending your money on, in my opinion, my humble opinion, I think you should definitely check out their complexion products. So definitely check out the foundation, especially if you have normal oily combination skin. If you have dry skin, probably should stay away from it unless you do like the matte finish. Definitely check out this guy right here and the concealer if you want to cover up all your sins. definitely check out this concealer. So guys, if you've tried Uoma Beauty already, let me know in the comments down below. I haven't tried all of the products from Uoma. I just tried the ones that I thought would be really important to check out. So I didn't try any of the contour sticks or eyeliners and stuff. They're just not my jam. But if you guys want me to try those out, then leave a comment down below and I will definitely check it out and get back to you on that. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and follow me on all these social medias down below right here. And ding ding, hit the notification bell because y'all got my new videos every Friday. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions or what you would like to see next. As always, thank you for watching. Bye! Online and in my beauty blade. So I think that's pretty cool. But I really like the look. You can probably etc. Charlotte spending your money. Tried Uoma Beauty before stuff. Again, this ooh.